Hello, this video is about how to install Bootstrap on your Symfony application. In fact, it's about how to use the integration called Webpack Encore to install Webpack easily on Symfony. So as always, there's a paste bin in the description. So every command that I'm running here is available there. I'll try to run through and then explain why this is important. Perhaps it's a two different way of installing Bootstrap that you used, but there's a lot of useful things that can be leveraged from this process. So stick with me for a second while I paste some commands, and you can see it's not that difficult. So first thing, we need to install Webpack Encore. It's a requirement to have npm installed. If you want, I have in the description as well a link to GitHub where you can download exactly this setup that I'm using here, so you can use it to try out and see what I have a Docker container, so you can see how to install everything. It's pretty easy. Next, we're going to install the dependency called Bootstrap, which is the Bootstrap itself in npm. So this is now a node dependency and not a PHP dependency anymore. And although npm is a package manager, it will not install some packages that you need, that you need to install manually. So next I will install Popper.js core as well. So this might take a while. There we go. Next, as I said, Popper.js. So as you can see, my public folder has no assets. However, there's a new folder called assets in the root of my project. So there's a way to transfer data from one to the other, which is build, because here we will have just the files that are code to generate the assets. So to effectively generate to compile or to run or to build the content here into the build folder in the public, what you need is to run npm run watch. This command will look to any changes that you execute in the assets folder and will recompile. It's pretty quick, so it's not going to get in your way. So it took some milliseconds here to compile. So it's a very fast. Once you want to run it for production, then you, instead of watch, you use build. The files that will be generated here in the build will be slightly different, but they will be more optimized for production instead of debugging. Right, so next stop is let's access the GitHub examples for Bootstrap. And I have downloaded it already, so just going to copy the index there and paste in one of my templates that I already prepared here. So what I'm doing is replacing the body with the body of that example page there. And I'm going to access here URL. There you go. You see that the color on the background is gray. This means that installed Webpack correctly, but the assets are not loaded yet. So next step, what we need to do is to add the assets. So in this app.js here, I'm going to add the reference to the assets, but I need first to move the assets there. So I'll copy the CSS, the CSS. So if I run now the watch, it will tell me something is wrong. Oh, sorry, forgot to import here. So I need to import them. And that's weird, but that's how you import in JS. As you get accustomed to it, it will make more sense. I will refer you in the end to a course that will explain better. So since I'm referring as SCSS, it will throw me an error because it does not support SCSS, so I need to enable that support here in Webpack config.js. It will have an option for SAS. When I remove this comment, Since I'm changing the configuration, I need to restart the watcher. And now it will complain about not having the proper modules to SAS. So it's easy just to install. So most of the process is very simple because it alerts you to the steps that you need to take next. So installing that, ready, and then running watch again, and then it should be able to compile SCSS. There. So now I should have assets here. There you go. So not that difficult, right? So this is all it takes. You can also add the JS here that is missing. So we have that pop-up over. Like so. So now it works. So as a bonus, and that's it. So the advantages of as I said before, I want to explain briefly what are the advantages of doing in this fashion instead of just including in the head the CSS and the script, the JavaScript tags. So what are the advantages? There are many, right? One is that you have separation of the concerns, what is public and what is assets. Now you're building the JavaScript instead of tossing everything in your includes folder here publicly. So it's optimized for speed. At the same time, it's okay for you to debug, so it's not everything minified. It's not difficult to read the files. It also minifies in a very smart way. Depending on what you load, it splits in multiple files or condense in one single file, depending on the rules of optimization that you have established. The default rules are very smart. It also comes with Babel. Babel is a very, very interesting tool. It compiles JavaScript to an older version that is precisely compatible with whatever you're writing. So if you want to write in ECMA 6, it will compile to your IE 8. So you never have problems with web compatibility or losing the ability to use new features just because you need to be compatible with older browsers. So, and it's pretty neat, this feature. It also is capable of determining the browser that you're using based on the quantity, the amount of accesses. So you say, I want to allow the least 1%, at least the 1% of my clients, I want to be able to that they have the correct version, so it will figure out it by itself. You can see a full course on this topic on the website Symfony Casts. The guy there called Ryan has excellent courses on this topic. This was like a shortcut for you that just want to like take the minimum necessary. And as a bonus, I wanted to include as well how to install Turbo, because that's, for me, that makes a lot of makes this approach way more interesting, and it gives you an idea on why it's cooler to do this way instead of just adding. It gives you the idea of the possibilities. So first thing, I need to add Turbo for Symfony here. And then since it modifies the dependencies on the on Node, so I also need to npm install force here. And then after that is done, I can run watch again. All right. And then I prepared some pages here. So test2, that goes to test. And let me add, to make it more visible on this test, here let's add a link to the test2. Path test 2. Test. Okay, so what does Turbo do? Like it doesn't change anything, right? Just navigating here. Well, it doesn't look like it changed anything. However, if you pay attention here in the bottom in the profiler, you see that the requests were Ajax and not regular requests. So if it loaded normally the first time, but now if I try to click it, it will load very fast because it's just changing from the cached version that it downloaded previously, but it also downloads and updates the page in case it needs a new cache. So it improves performance and makes your site. It turns your site in a single page application with no effort. It's free basically. It has some caveats and some things that you need to understand and be attentive to. Again, Ryan has a huge course on Turbo, which is awesome. I recommend you to see to understand what are the limitations and the caveats. But I just wanted to give you this as a taste uh, um, of how cool this approach of using Webpack is, using Symfony, and how powerful this can be. Right? Hope you guys appreciate. If you have any suggestions of other things that you want me to talk about, just leave in the comments. At 99.9% of you are not subscribed, and if you made here till the end and you think it's was useful, please subscribe and you help me a lot. Thank you.